Welcome to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. The Attic, Episode 9.
Hello, my name's Amanda Carlton.
And I'm David Evans.
And in this series, we aim to improve your English language skills with the help of a drama about life in an English hotel called Middleton Hall.
At the start of the story, we heard that a guest called Mr. Greaves arrived at Middleton Hall with no money and no credit card. He said that his credit card would arrive soon, and so Mr. Middleton lent him the money to pay for his stay. However, Mrs. Middleton is starting to worry about the situation.
At the start of our first scene today, she looks at Mr. Greaves's bill on the computer and says,
"I can't believe how much that man is spending. Look at this bill. He's only been here 3 days.
Mr. Middleton tells her not to worry. He says,
"He'll pay us back."
But Mrs. Middleton is not so sure. She asks,
"How do you know that?"
And here are 2 questions for you. How long has Mr. Middleton known Mr. Greaves? And how many times has he met him before? Let's find out.
Charles, I can't believe how much that man is spending. Look at this bill. He's only been here 3 days.
Well, he's on holiday. He wants to enjoy himself.
The problem is he's spending our money.
Well, not really.
Yes, he is. You're lending him the money.
Yes, but he'll pay us back.
And how do you know that?
He's an old friend.
So how long have you known him?
I'm not quite sure. A while.
And how many times have you met him?
I don't know. Once or twice.
Once or twice? Charles! What you're saying is you know nothing about him at all.
But he's a very nice chap.
You mean he seems like a very nice chap? Oh, Charles, this has to stop. You can't go on lending him money like this.
But what will I say to him? It will be very embarrassing.
It has to stop, Charles. He's spending a fortune.
Perhaps we can talk about this later.
Charles, I'm serious. This has to stop. Now, where is everyone this morning? Sitwell! Maria! Kevin! Oh, this is very strange. Where have they all gone?
So how long has Mr. Middleton known Mr. Greaves? He says,
"I'm not quite sure. A while."
And how many times has he met him before? He says,
"I don't know. Once or twice."
Mrs. Middleton becomes angry and says,
"What you're saying is you know nothing about him at all.
She continues,
You can't go on lending him money like this. This has to stop."
She then calls for Sitwell, Maria and Kevin and says,
"This is very strange. Where have they all gone?"
and we'll find out where they have all gone in just a moment. You're listening to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. And don't forget that you can find more resources at the British Council Learn English website at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org.
In the story, we've also heard about a small statue of a little girl, which Maria found in the hotel's attic. It seemed that nobody wanted it, and so she decided to sell it at an auction in the village.
But Mr. Middleton noticed that the little statue was for sale, and he remembered that he had a similar statue of a little boy. The auctioneer told him that the 2 statues together would be worth a lot of money.
When Maria found out about this, she felt guilty, and so she and Kevin decided to go to the auction to buy the statue of the little girl for Mr. Middleton. And that's where they are at the moment.
At the start of the next scene, Maria looks around the auction room and says,
"What a lot of people!"
She then checks that Kevin knows what to do. He says,
"If I want to buy something, I put up my hand, right?
Maria replies,
But remember, every time you put up your hand, the price goes up. So be careful.
and here are 2 questions for you. Who do they see in the auction room? And how do they change their plan? Here's the scene.
What a lot of people!
Mr. Trott said it was popular.
And are you sure you know what to do, Kevin?
I told you, I've seen auctions on TV. It's easy. If I want to buy something, I put up my hand, right?
Yes, but remember, every time you put up your hand, the price goes up. So be careful.
I know. And we can't spend more than £100. Right. Shall we find a place to sit?
Just a moment, Kevin, just a moment. Look, it's Mr. Sitwell.
Where?
Over there.
Oh, yes. What's he doing here?
Oh, Kevin, do you think he's found out about our plan?
No, he can't have.
Oh, I'm worried now, Kevin.
It's all right, Maria. It's all right. But it's going to make things difficult, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He mustn't find out what we're doing. Oh, Kevin, this ruins our plan.
Yes, I think it does, doesn't it? What are we going to do?
Well, there's nothing we can do, is there? We'll just have to give up.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's such a shame.
Good morning, everybody. Could I ask you to take your seats, please?
Shall we stay and watch anyway? Just to see what happens.
Yes, of course. But we mustn't let Mr. Sitwell see us.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you to take your seats, please? The auction is about to start. Take your seats, please, everybody.
So, who do they see in the auction room?
Mr. Sitwell.
Maria says,
He mustn't find out what we're doing. Oh, Kevin, this ruins our plan.
so how do they change their plan? Maria says,
There's nothing we can do, is there? We'll just have to give up.
and reluctantly, Kevin agrees, saying,
Shall we stay and watch anyway? Just to see what happens. You're listening to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio programme from the British Council.
In the next scene, the auction has already started. We hear the auctioneer say,
And the next item is this beautiful silver teapot.
we heard in an earlier episode that this is the teapot that Mr. Greaves wanted to buy. So as you listen, answer this question. How much money is paid for the silver teapot? The auctioneer then says,
Next is this antique brass candlestick.
a candlestick is a holder for a candle. Maria says,
Mr. Sitwell's interested in this. He's leaning forward. He's put on his glasses.
and my next question is, why is Mr. Sitwell interested in the candlestick? Then the auctioneer says,
A charming statue of a little girl.
Maria says,
Ooh, Kevin, that's ours. How much do you think we'll get?
so how much money will be paid for the little statue? Let's listen and find out.
And the next item is this beautiful silver teapot. An antique silver teapot. Who's going to open the bidding? £150? £150?
Why do you think he's here, Kevin?
Mr. Sitwell? I don't know. Perhaps he just likes auctions.
He's here for a reason. I'm sure of it. I just hope he hasn't seen us.
He hasn't. Don't worry.
Any advance on £225? Going, gone.
Did you hear that? Someone just paid £225 for a teapot.
It was silver, Kevin, and it was an antique.
Next is this antique brass candlestick. It's a lovely piece, this one, and extremely unusual.
Oh, look, Mr. Sitwell's interested in this. He's leaning forward. He's put on his glasses.
I think I know why. We've seen that before. It's the candlestick we found in the attic.
Yes, I think it is. It's one of the things we threw away. Oh, Kevin!
That's why he was down by the rubbish bins the other night. He was looking for things himself.
To sell in the auction.
Oh, Mr. Sitwell.
Going, gone. Sold to the lady in the blue for £180.
Did she just say £180?
Yes. Mr. Sitwell looks pleased, doesn't he?
I'm not surprised.
A charming statue of a little girl.
Oh, Kevin, that's ours. How much do you think we'll get?
Shush, listen.
£70. Any advance on £70? No. Going, gone. Sold to the gentleman at the back for £70. Thank you very much, sir.
Can you see who bought it?
No, it was someone at the back.
Oh, well, never mind. I don't expect we'll ever see it again, will we?
Next we have a
No, I don't expect we will. Still, £70? That's not bad, is it?
No, I suppose not.
£150.
So how much money is paid for the silver teapot?
£225.
And what about my next question? Why is Mr. Sitwell interested in the candlestick? Kevin says,
We've seen that before. It's the candlestick we found in the attic.
He goes on,
That's why he was down by the rubbish bins the other night. He was looking for things himself.
so Sitwell took the candlestick out of the rubbish bin and took it to the auction house, and it's just sold for £180. Kevin says,
Mr. Sitwell looks pleased, doesn't he?
and what about my final question? How much money does the statue of the little girl sell for?
£70.
Maria says,
I don't expect we'll ever see it again.
but Kevin is more positive. He says,
£70? That's not bad, is it?
so, will they ever see the statue of the little girl again? And did Mr. Greaves succeed in buying the silver teapot? And will anybody find out about Sitwell and the candlestick? Join us again for the next episode of our story, The Attic. Now here's a chance to hear a part of today's drama again.
And the next item is this beautiful silver teapot. An antique silver teapot. Who's going to open the bidding? £150? £150!
Why do you think he's here, Kevin?
Mr. Sitwell? I don't know. Perhaps he just likes auctions.
He's here for a reason, I'm sure of it. I just hope he hasn't seen us.
He hasn't. Don't worry.
Any advance on £225? Going, gone!
Did you hear that? Someone just paid £225 for a teapot.
It was silver, Kevin, and it was an antique.
Next is this antique brass candlestick. It's a lovely piece, this one, and extremely unusual.
Oh, look, Mr. Sitwell's interested in this. He's leaning forward. He's put on his glasses.
I think I know why. We've seen that before. It's the candlestick we found in the attic.
Yes, I think it is. It's one of the things we threw away. Oh, Kevin!
That's why he was down by the rubbish bins the other night. He was looking for things himself.
To sell in the auction.
Oh, Mr. Sitwell.
Going, gone! Sold to the lady.
But that's all for today. You've been listening to Middleton Hall, a British Council Learn English radio series. And remember, you can find more resources at the British Council Learn English website at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. Until next time, from Amanda Carlton and me, David Evans.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.